Hello guys, welcome back to another different tier 2 video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Supreme Endgame level 50 auto shotgun build. I'm going to leave down in the description my Twitch, where I stream different tier 2 and other games. Going to leave Discord and my other socials such as Twitter and Instagram if you want to chat with the rest of the community while I'm offline. So let's get it! As always, first we're going to start with skills and items. So these are the skills we have. You can pause so you can read easier. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain why Sprinter 5. It's a personal preference. I prefer sprint. Sprint is 1.5 times faster than jogger. You can go jog or sprint, completely up to you, or you can combine them. I just prefer sprint. Very simple. Okay. Shotgun expert 5 because we're using shotguns. Headhunter 5 for that headshot damage. Marksman 5 for that maximum accuracy, which is very important, and range, which is very important on shotguns because shotguns have quite low range, so that helps quite a lot. Reloading 5 for that reload speed and ammo capacity, which is a big thing for the shotguns. Must have that in mind. Quick shot for that attack speed, highly advised to have it, really important. Hunter 5 for the damage versus mutated, which is damage against bosses. If you're boss hunting, highly advised to have it. Looter 5 for that surge speed, which gives us 50%, which saves us around 1 second between each loot spot, which is very important when you boss hunting and if you're trying to do it really fast. Very important. Toughness 5 for that 75% HP, which is very important due to the enemies dealing a lot of damage. Highly advise you to have it. More rooms for mistakes and you'll survive easier. You won't be one shot. Aim for the heart for the body damage. Highly advise you to have it, especially if you're using the auto shotgun build. Must have. Do not go without this thing. 25% body damage is a big thing, trust me guys. Quick reflexes 5 for that dodge cooldown and incoming stun recovery, which means more rooms for the mistakes. Dodge cooldown, so we can dodge faster, so cooldown is lower, and that incoming stun recovery gives us so when the enemy is about to stun us, we recover faster from the stun or getting staggered, right? So that's very important in my opinion. If we don't play perfect every day, sometimes you just want to relax and want to have room for mistakes. Number 5 because we're using armors, and highly advise you to have it if you're using armors as well. More rooms for the mistake, more survivability. Highly advise you to have these skills. If you're following my build, highly advise you to have these skills. But as I said, we can change sprinter for jogger. You can go jog here, and you can play around with some skills if you want, up to your liking. But if you're following my build, highly advise you to go for something like this. Okay, now let's move on to the items. Our primary weapon is wound cannon. As you can see, it has body damage, headshot, attack speed, mutated, and ammo capacity from the upgrade. The stats you want to have on your auto shotgun, you definitely want to have body damage, attack speed, mutated, ammo capacity, and headshot if possible. If not, that's fine, but having these 4 stats, as I explained, is very important. 4 stats, as I said, ammo capacity, but not from the attachment if possible. From the attachment that should be extra, but if you can get body damage, attack speed, mutated, ammo capacity on your auto shotgun, that would be awesome. Okay, and some like mobility stats, defensive stats as HP, incoming damage and such, So we're using Gore Trimmer, which is, in my opinion, the best static. I mean, when you look at the overall stats, it's the best static in the game. Still, the static with the highest damage versus mutated is Reaper Sight, which has 75 damage versus mutated. But in terms of just mutated, that's, Reaper Sight is number 1. But in overall stats, these things win. Highly advised to have it. As you can see, mutated, incoming, health, walk speed, movement speed. So it's really hard to get something like this in you cannot get something like this unless it's this unique. There's not many items with such stats. So usually what you want to look for on your static is like mobility stats such as sprint, speed, duration, cooldown, or if you're jogger, you're gonna go for jog. Then you want to have mutated, you want to have defensive stats such as incoming HP and such, and like maybe dodge cooldown, incoming stun recovery, threshold, whatever helps, So those are the stats you want to look for on your stat stick. Okay, now let's move on to the headpiece and gloves. So as you can see, we have headshot, attack speed, mutated, and body damage. But what you want to have is body damage, attack speed, mutated, and anything extra, whatever you can get. If you also if you can get headshot, because some enemies when they're optic, well, want to have headshot damage because of them. But as you can see, we're using fried mask. You don't have to use a fried mask, but as I said, try to focus body damage, attack speed mutated, like headshot, and maybe ammo capacity if you can get so. The extra stat will be like maximum accuracy, reload speed, such things, right? Ammo capacity. So those are the stats you want to look for. Same for the gloves, same stats you want to look for applied to the gloves. We have Fatman's all-purpose mittens, as you can see, mutated, infected, surge speed, body damage, headshot, and attack speed. I mainly focus on body damage here in this build, so that's what you want to do actually with the auto shotguns. Highly advise you to just focus on body damage, you know, and try to get headshot as the extra line, you know, if you can, possibly. So these things are very expensive on the market. There is very few. If you can get them, highly advise you to get them. They're worth it, trust me, 100%. Very good items. If you cannot, you know, something similar, it doesn't have to have exact same stats, it's gonna be fine still. The armor, we're using Elite Assault Vest, as you can see, incoming, inventory, HP, incoming stun recovery, and sneak visibility range. What you want to have, the stats is incoming, you want to have HP, want to have inventory, and like incoming stun recovery. Extra would be incoming stun threshold if you can get. If not, that's fine, but that would be awesome to get it. And 6 stat would be like visibility range, but if not, that's still fine. If you get these 4 stats is what I have, that's completely fine. LE joggers, triple sprint stats, incoming, and inventory capacity. What you want to have here is like, if you're a sprinter, triple sprint stats, incoming, inventory, and HP, or like instead of HP, dodge cooldown, or incoming stun threshold, recovery, walk speed, jog speed, whatever, you know. If you're a jogger, well, jog speed, incoming, inventory, HP, dodge cooldown, walk speed, you know, whatever you can think of, defensive and mobility stats. So those are the stats you want to have on your joggers, okay? And for the feet, we have triple sprint stats, dodge cooldown, jog speed, and footsteps noise radius. As a sprinter, you definitely want to have at least 3 triple sprint stats on your boots, okay? And then extra is like dodge cooldown, jog speed, walk speed, footsteps noise radius. Walk speed will be awesome to have instead of footsteps noise radius, but I have footsteps noise radius, and I'm fine with that. You know, walk speed can help you sometimes, especially if you're doing purple zones and such. It's not bad to do so. But I feel like footsteps noise radius could be very useful in the future. So that's for our feet. And the backpack we're using is military day pack, which has 50 inventory capacity and -3 movement speed. If you get one, mine has webbing pouches. You're gonna have 40 inventory capacity and -3 movement speed. So if you're boss hunting, highly advise you to use this backpack. Don't go with large rucksack and such, because the -10 movement speed penalty is quite big. It's gonna affect you a lot, okay? So now, after I've showed you all the stats, we're gonna move on to the bossing. I'm gonna show you how it performs, and after that, we're gonna get into the full stats and some other things, and I'll explain. So let's get it. Enjoy it. And as you saw, guys, the performance is insane. This thing melts bosses like... it has the fastest time kill because it's a body damage weapon, right? Because it's much easier to hit a body than a headshot. So if you hit all the pellets, I mean, you like... majority of times you hit 95% of the pellets. 90 to 95 will hit. And you'll kill bosses insanely fast. In terms of DPS, not the highest when you're doing math, right? But... when you look at it, as you saw with your own eyes, it's the fastest. But have in mind, do not forget, guys, we had the weekend event boost. I don't know why it's still on. Admin forgot to turn it off. I wish I could have recorded without it. So think of time to kill will take us like 0.5, so half a second less, maybe like 0.3, between 0.3 and 0.5, depends which type of a boss. But let's say half second less to kill will take us half second more, sorry, to kill the boss, my bad. Now let's talk about the full stats, as I said, okay? So as you can see here, these are the stats on our wound cannon, okay? As you can see, almost 36 body damage, 11.1 attack speed, 33.6 headshot. You can see other stats. This thing is, you know, because it's a body damage weapon, right? I'm gonna focus on body damage. It's really not that important if you don't get any maximum accuracy, but it's good to have because it helps. What you really want to get, in my opinion, instead of maximum accuracy, it's not that important. I'd rather focus, like, as I said, the stats: body damage, attack speed, mutated, ammo capacity, reload speed, like maybe for 6 stats, like headshot or maximum accuracy, you know? So that's what I'll focus on. I think reload speed and ammo capacity is much more important than maximum accuracy in this build. Like, it doesn't make a huge difference because, you know, it's auto shotgun, so yeah. Okay, or Gorchum, it doesn't matter. So these are our other stats. Make sure you pause it so you can see it for yourself easier. You want to have as much as body damage possible, attack speed as high as possible. As you can see, headshot damage is mutated 231, surge speed 94%, 135 XP gain, and incoming damage. If you're using armors, it's very, very important to try have as much as possible incoming damage, as high as possible, guys, because your armor durability will last longer, and you won't repair your armor non-stop, especially if you're getting hit quite a lot, you know. That's very, very important. And as I said, more room for mistakes, more survivability, which is very, very important. Also, incoming stun recovery, as you can see, 105. Once you have just 75 from quick reflexes, that's already good. Any extra, perfect, you know. Armor absorption, durability. So as you can see, we have 72 sprint speed and 11 movement speed. I advise you to have 80 sprint speed, you know, or you can have 72 sprint speed and 8 movement speed. One movement speed equals 1 sprint speed, jog speed, walk speed, and what else? Sneak speed. So 1 movement speed gives percent to all of these mobility stats, okay? So as long as you have 80 or above sprint speed, you should be fine. For joggers, you want to have at least 115, so when you pop the energy drink, it's going to be 120, so you're safe. But I always advise people to try to have 125, 130. If you get the Gorilla's feat, you can get easily to 140 jog. So, you know, that'll be awesome if you can get so. As you can see, 84 dodge cooldown, so we can dodge every 1.6 seconds. We can dodge. That's insane. Okay, so these are our stats. Okay, now let's talk about other things, okay? Attachment, that is, as I said, you want to go for the J magazine, nothing else. Nothing else goes on to the auto shotguns, if you're using wound cannon especially. You want to get J magazine. The ammo, it's using 12 gauge. It can be quite costly, but the thing is, as you saw, guys, I can kill up to 3 to 5 bosses with 1 stack of 12 gauge. 12 gauge goes around, it's like 3.5 to 4k usually. Can go up to 5k, really depends. But let's say average 4,000, okay? And I can kill 3 bosses, and average scrap you get is like 2,000 per boss. So that's 6k, so we still make more cash than we lose. But have in mind, my build is very powerful. So you gotta have that in mind. But let's say, as I said, on average, let's say we kill 3 bosses. Sometimes maybe 4 with 1 stack. So it's 8k. So we literally got double the cash for the amount we spent, right? So people been saying it's really hard to maintain the auto shotguns. I mean, it really is. It's very costly. But once you min max it, it's not that you know, as with every other build. But it's not as people are saying, you know, that it's not the same as it was in a bit like before, like a year or 2 ago. So you can maintain it much easier because of the scrap values being increased, like 3 or 4 times, you know, been increased. So it's not the same like from the year or 2 ago. If you like auto shotguns and if you like shotguns, get this thing. It's insane. So I don't know what to say. It's just very powerful. And it's the fastest boss killer, you know, in terms of like if it's body damage, you know, if you can hit all the pellets, nothing can beat it. Nothing, like literally nothing can compete with it. Flowing Rabbit, you know, if you hit like all the headshots, well, Flowing Rabbit is #1, definitely. But it's a headshot build, right? But you gotta hit all the headshots. So that's it for this gun, this build, guys. I hope it was helpful. Highly advise you to get it if you can. And there we go, somebody got Gore Trimmer just as we're talking. But yeah, I'm gonna leave once again my Twitch, my socials down in the description. Hope this was helpful, and you know, share down in the comments what you think of this build. And you know, follow me on Twitch if you want, join the Discord, all the socials down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video, Frontier 2, guys. Till next time, love you all, peace.